So you might not have heard about CoryxKenshin, the YouTuber known for taking breaks over and over again. And we're not talking short breaks here, we're talking month-long breaks. And I've always wondered why. He gets nearly 1 million views per video and I never see him getting negative comments on his videos. His fans are always sweet, they're always nice to him and have accepted his breaks. And always just waited patiently. You never see anyone complain in the comments. So why would someone keep taking breaks from YouTube when they are in the best possible position? That's a question that's been on my mind for a while, so that's what I want to find out today, and I hope you'll come along and try to understand it too. This video will cover the topics of depression, motivation, mental health, and things alike. Come along and let's try to get into the mind of CoryxKenshin. First off, who is CoryxKenshin? I should probably start off by explaining that. Cory is a YouTuber who's been around since 2009. His first videos were comedy sketches and dancing videos, but he then went over to gaming videos, which is what he still does now. He's usually very energetic in his videos, and he has his very own unique style of video making and editing. He's also very religious, which can be seen from the quotes he leaves at the end of his videos and at the bottom of his description. And his religion isn't something he forces upon others. Well, I guess besides the fact that he doesn't curse, which he mentions a lot, but I'm not 100% sure that not cursing comes from his religious beliefs. Now, something I remember from watching Cory back in the day is that at the time I was watching him, he left university for 1 year and said that if he reached 150,000 subscribers within that year, he would make it his goal and his life to do YouTube full time. If he couldn't reach it within that year, he wouldn't. And he would try to find a quote-unquote real job and go back and finish his degree at university.
I am leaving my university and I'm going to be doing YouTube full time for 1 year. Yeah, let that sit there for a second.
Cory's always been very appreciative of the support from his fans and made many different thank you vlogs. He clearly loves making YouTube videos, and the goal of 100,000 subscribers was of course hit that year. And from that point on he would only gain even more subscribers and even more popularity, which is the popularity he has now. So that's CoryxKenshin, but if he's taking so many breaks, then how did he manage to gain that popularity while being away all the time? Well, that's actually pretty hard to answer. I would say because of his personality and content, which has made people share his videos over the years. It's actually pretty confusing when you think about it, because normally those types of long breaks would kill a channel. But maybe Cory has just been lucky with his community and gotten the most patient fans possible. I'm not really sure, and I don't think there is a correct answer to the question. It's very interesting because you don't see that happen anywhere else on YouTube. For an example, the channel Life According to Jimmy. He's taken many breaks over the last couple of years, and that's resulted in him not getting nearly as many views as he used to. It's very clear when you go through the numbers on his channel over the years. So I don't think it's possible to answer that question correctly, because there are so many different answers you can give. But anyways, now to the mind of Cory. Why did he take so many breaks? What was the reason? November 25th, 2014 was when I watched the first serious video from Cory. He uploaded a video called My Dreams. In the video, Cory explains that he's happy and he enjoys making videos, but he's in the midst of one of his toughest times. But that the support is helping him a lot. He explains that he doesn't feel like anyone believes in him, and therefore he's going to work as hard as possible. He's going to put his heart into YouTube, into school, and into his health. He also explains that he feels lonely and that he doesn't have anyone that he can talk to, feeling like he doesn't have any friends. But he ends off the video by making sure that people know that he isn't depressed.
It's just been thinning out into pretty much the small circle that I had in high school. That's about it. And with that being said, it's not making things easier during my time I think the hardest time. And I'm also making this video because I want to remember how hard it was. Because one thing that I do have is faith. I have faith that I won't be here forever. I won't be in this pit of despair. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm just depressed or anything. Like, you can see in my videos that I do have fun and I'm happy. That's completely genuine, but you know.
So his breaks didn't come from depression, at least. But what then? The answer to that question began to get more clear over the years, because after the My Dreams video, Cory was making more vlogs with serious topics, which was very uncharacteristic of him, which he even says himself. For example, there was another serious video uploaded called Stay Strong, parentheses, suicide, which is a video where Cory talks about the very serious topic of suicide. He explains that he hasn't struggled with suicide himself, but that he's experienced bullying and other things alike, and therefore ensures that there's not only dark days, that things get better. At least that's his experience. And it might not seem important to mention that he started doing more serious videos, but it was the start of a more honest Cory, and it was when we started to get a glimpse into his life behind the screen. And this was also around the same time that the breaks started happening.
I don't know. It's really tough. I've been bullied and picked on in school, and it's just not something that I ever contemplated, and it's really hard for me to even understand people.
The 25th of June 2015 was the first break Cory had, but it wasn't really that big of a deal, though he made it a big deal for himself. He felt like he had let down his fans and therefore made an apology video. His break was only 5 to 6 days, but even though it wasn't a lot of time, he felt bad. Though I guess it makes sense, because he uploaded 2 videos every day back then, and therefore he felt really bad for uploading nothing without any notice. Cory had just been gone to spend time with his family, so the first break had an excuse. But then they began to happen more often.
Oh, yes! Oh!
Cory uploaded a completely normal gaming video on February 16th, 2016. Nothing much to it, just a regular old CoryxKenshin video. But then it didn't upload for a week, then 2 weeks, then 3 weeks, then a month, and then 2 months. And then on April 30th, a video was finally uploaded called CoryxKenshin, The Return. The video starts off very upbeat, and in the video Cory explains why he was gone and where he had been. His fear was that when he came back, no one would care and his views would be gone. But he got more views on that video than he had subscribers at that time. Cory's explanation was that he just needed a break. He hadn't planned for it, it just happened. He said that he had a mini breakdown and that his energy/fire was fading away. He needed to talk to his family and try to figure out what was going on with him. His dad had said to him that YouTube might have happened too fast for Cory at that time, which Cory partly agrees with in the video. Though the thing that he felt most bad about was that he hadn't told anyone about the break. He just left without saying anything to his fans. In the video he says that it won't happen again, but if it did, he would let them know what was going on. Also in the description he wrote, "I know I've said it before, but if ever there is a time in the future that a similar feeling starts to develop within me, that I need to leave for a while, I will be letting you know." From there on, Cory took small breaks. Sometimes 4 days, sometimes 10 days, sometimes 2 days. It was very different, but he kept taking them. But then suddenly out of nowhere, he took another 2-month break without letting his fans know. Again, people were confused, but then he came back with a video for the second time on August 6th, 2016. Where he made a diss track on himself, making fun of himself for taking another break without letting them know. The last video uploaded before his second 2-month break was a video letting people know that he had nearly died in a car accident, which was very extreme. Though he didn't use that as an excuse in his diss track video, he just mentioned it briefly. In the video he says that he couldn't keep the promise of uploading every day and would no longer describe his channel as an uploads every day type channel. He thanks his subscribers for everything again, and this time it was very hard to figure out why he left, because he was very vague about it in the video. The small breaks kept happening again, but now he was also live streaming sometimes, which did help a little. And on September 5th, 2016, he took another break, but this time he uploaded a video to let his fans know that he was going to. In the video he doesn't want to get into what the actual reason was, he just mentions his family and that he wants to go home, though he would already be back on September 14th, so he wasn't gone for long.
None of that is really important. A couple of bad things happened today, and they happened in a really tight, and they were all subsequent, right after another. Something bad happened and then I would kind of recover, and then another bad thing would happen and kind of recover, and another bad thing would happen. And when things kind of happen like that, I feel like it's not on accident. Like it's not. It didn't. It wasn't on accident, I guess. So I need some time. I'm definitely not gonna get into what happened. I could just say it was personal, like family stuff. But I need to take some time off.
This was surprisingly enough also when Cory got the most views and gained the most popularity, which I still find very weird, because he was taking more breaks than ever before. He would even make a video with Kevin Hart, the comedian, because his daughter was a huge fan of Cory. Cory seemed extremely happy around this time, and there were no signs of another big break. This was also around the same time that Cory hit 1 million subscribers. But of course he's known as the YouTuber for taking the most breaks for a reason. Cory took another break from August 17th, 2017 to July 3rd, 2017. He uploaded a video saying that it was going to be the last time. The video is even called My Final Return to YouTube. Of course people were doubting him, because it seemed like it wasn't going to change. The reason of leaving this time was the lack of motivation, but Dashy Games, a fellow YouTuber and another one of Cory's friends, had helped him get back on the horse and helped him get back the motivation. He thanked his subscribers once again, and then he held his promise of uploading until 2018. He took another break from January 8th, 2018 to May 20th, 2018. Not a 1 month break, not a 2 month break, but a 4 month break. The longest yet. This time he didn't upload an edited video when he came back though. He just live streamed and answered questions live. He wanted to do something different for once, since it was one of many returns to YouTube. In the live stream he explains that he's confused and can't understand why he was gone. Cory kept breaking promises. He had ideas which he would prepare for, but when everything was set up and ready to go, he didn't go through with them. He kept thinking that he was ready to make videos again, but every time he came back he realized that he wasn't, and that was why he then left again. He didn't like doing the same thing over and over again. He didn't want to keep letting down his fans, so he decided that he wasn't coming back. He wasn't coming back until he was 100% sure that he was ready. If he had any doubt he wouldn't come back, he would just wait longer. That was the reason for this new break. He took the time that he actually needed and didn't force himself back. Being alone in a big house, editing, filming and uploading videos by himself took a toll on him. He also felt pressure from the fans. Not in the way that they were pressuring him to come back, but in the way that he didn't think they would accept him being gone and would be gone when he came back. But the problem was that they did accept it. He just couldn't accept it himself until this last break. So he followed through with the break and his fire was ignited again. Cory would also upload 2 new videos in 2018, which were videos about serious topics. One called Mental Health on YouTube and one called Inside of My Mind, my being Cory's mind. The mental health video reminds me a lot of the video I mentioned earlier, the one called Stay Strong, parentheses, suicide. To sum up the video, Cory talks about mental health on YouTube. He says that he's been feeling down and was now feeling better. His returns and breaks were screwing with his mind and he was going down a rabbit hole which wasn't healthy for him. He kept telling himself that he was okay while actually not being okay. He ends the video by explaining that you have to be honest with yourself and that you have to put your health first. If you're feeling bad, then feel bad. Accept that feeling and try to fix it. If not, then you're gonna keep going around in circles, spiraling down into a hole that you don't want to go down and might not be able to get up from.
I was gone a long time and I was waiting for that spark to reignite, and it was around month 3 that I put out that statement when I was talking about my mental and kind of just not being all the way where I wanted it to be. First of all, I'm doing better, okay? Like I'm pretty much everything's good. Everything's really good. I just needed time. But I was also thinking that I love and I'm so grateful to God that I was able to take 4 months and distance myself from my work, Not everybody is in a line of work where they can just take 4 months off. In fact, I would wager probably 99% of the rest of the world can't afford to do that.
The video spoke to me on a whole new level. I'd been feeling like what Cory explained in the video, and I faced my fears, I faced my problems. I gained a whole new respect for Cory, and this was when I started understanding Cory's reasoning for his breaks. The other video called Inside of My Mind is Cory walking around his house, showing off what is wrong with it and saying his thoughts out loud, just being honest. It's clear that he's experiencing burnouts and he wants to get back his fire. In the video he just vlogs his life. He doesn't brush his teeth, his house is a mess, he doesn't know what to do, where to go, he feels lonely and confused. Though he explains that he isn't depressed. And after that he starts cleaning up and finishes all the things he feels like he has left unfinished. Basically he's been unmotivated for a long time and tries to get back his motivation. The most interesting part of the video is a poster which he had for a year. A poster he wanted to buy a frame for and hang up on the wall. In the video he goes to the store, buys a frame and finally hangs it up. It took a year for him to hang that poster up. A year to hang up a poster. Such a simple task took a year. That's how powerful losing your motivation and energy can be. Boredom and not knowing what to do is much more powerful than you might think. And that's a clear example of how powerful it can be. The video is basically a look into why he took his breaks. Showing his day shows us what he's been doing when he's been taking breaks. Just walking around the house, watching YouTube videos, not even brushing his teeth. He's been unmotivated, burnt out, sad, confused, and feelings alike. And I feel like it's a trend on YouTube for that to happen. And it's really not good, which Cory emphasizes on. You have to put your health first. Or else that will become every day and not just a few days. My conclusion from all of that is that YouTubers have to put their mental health first. YouTube has turned into too much of a chore instead of a joyful hobby. It's all about grinding, it's not about being happy anymore. Money and success are the two main factors now on YouTube. Of course that doesn't apply to every YouTuber on the side, but I think it applies to a lot. For example, a YouTuber called Pyrocynical uploaded a video where he clickbaited, and in a follow-up video to that video, he explains that he needs to clickbait to go anywhere on YouTube. It's the only way he can stay on YouTube and be relevant, and that's just really not healthy at all.
Main reason I was doing the bell thing was to make profit. You see, the problem is with YouTube now, it is incredibly oversaturated and there are too many people on the site. There are so many commentary channels that just come out of nowhere every summer and they push more load onto everyone else. So you need to do something really big and explosive to get views, or you're just eventually going to become irrelevant. I'll admit, giving her 3K is retarded, but it has ended up becoming like the most viewed video I've had for months. So it just goes to show that stuff like that does work, even though I'm not happy that it does.
I can at least also say it has applied to me when I was doing YouTube back in the day on Mother Channel, and seeing the evolution of Cory has helped me put my health first too. I really think everyone should do that. Cory might not know it, but showing his life might have been one of the best things he's done on his channel. At least for his fans. It gave a much better understanding of him, his life and his breaks. And when you really dig deep down and try to put it into perspective of YouTube, then it becomes so much more interesting and covers more than just Cory's YouTube life. It's life and YouTube in general. It's so much more than just Cory. So that is my conclusion. This video was basically all I found out from watching through his videos, going through his whole channel, and what I could gather as reasoning for his breaks. This is not a correct answer, I would say. This is more like, I'm not gonna call it a theory either. This is just my research, trying to get into his mind, understand him. This is so much more than just Cory. It's just about being burnt out from content in general, and mental health, and the problems of pressure and consistency and motivation. I think it's really interesting, and I would love to make a follow-up video to this with another YouTuber, try to see another way this can happen, where it might end badly. Because for Cory, he's still doing good on YouTube, so he's still uploading every day now, so you know, he's doing good. He found his motivation again, so it didn't end badly for him. So I guess this was an example of someone who could overcome his not depression, but lack of motivation. Anyways, that was all for this. I really hope you enjoyed. I tried my best to research this thoroughly, so I hope it gave a better and more clear picture of Cory and just the situation that many YouTubers are in. I think it's very interesting. Let me know if you enjoyed, and if I could do anything better, I would love to know. Anyways, that was all. Thanks for watching. Peace out.